Hey YouTube, it's a cold one on the plains today, so I'm hiding in the shop. It's November 1st, and winter is here. Whew, all the leaves are gone off the trees, all the grass is dead. Yep, it's a pretty barren landscape these days out there. Kind of depressing looking. Everything's brown. And today is really windy. We are having sustained winds of 30 miles an hour, and I don't know what the gusts are on top of that. But hey, that's life out here on the plains. You gotta get used to the wind. I don't know if you can hear that stuff howling or not. I don't know if the camera's picking that up or not. But I was going to go outside and do some work today, and with the temperatures being below freezing and the 30-mile-an-hour winds on top of it, I didn't last long outside. I even have my old ugly coat on. It's a few years old, and because the shop is down to 50 degrees, I haven't turned on the heater yet. I bought me a new coat for this year, but it's so nice I hate to wear it out in the shop and get it dirty, so I'm still wearing my old one, so I guess. Why not, right? It's only YouTube videos. I don't need to look nice for that, right? No one's going to see it. Right, Dakota? What I'm here to tell you more than anything is I made a huge mistake a couple days ago. I had a video that I was working on the roundy-round fabrication table. Several of you wanted to see a video on that. I about had that done because, you know, it's a pretty short video. Wasn't much to show on that. I had another little project I was working on the lathe. There was something else. And I also had some random footage too that I wanted to put in one of those videos, and well, I went and deleted them all. For some reason I'd put all those videos in the same folder as my power grader build, and I went and deleted the raw data for that build and forgot that I had those other projects in there and deleted all those. So the roundy-round table I'm going to redo. I might redo it this afternoon. I don't know if I will or not. I've been working on the, oh, that was the other one that was on there. Yeah, I've been working on the Rockford Lathe. That's why I'm standing over here. So I had a little bit of that. I do have some photos of that, so I'm going to throw those in too. So anyway, since I did all that, I wasn't quite sure what to do. I thought, well, I'll just come up here in the shop and ramble for a while, because just trying to get back in the swing of things, because I haven't turned on the camera in over 2 months. You know, that roundy-round table build was clear back when I was uploading the power grader videos. People wanted to see that up close, and I hadn't got back to finishing that project because you don't say. I don't know if you heard Dakota just yawn or not. But anyway, I really wasn't going to break the news in just a regular video. I was actually going to put it in the trebuchet video, but my mom passed away on September 30th. So I've been pretty depressed and unmotivated, and just have not wanted to be in front of the camera at all since then. And leading up to her death, we were in the hospital all of September with her. So there was just no time to work, no time to make videos. So anyway, the whole reason I'm making a video today is just because I just need to make myself turn the camera back on and try to get on with life, you know. I need to see how much time is left. No, been talking longer than I thought. So yeah, I've been trying to just get caught up on stuff because I had such a backlog with all my customers and everything. The weather has been pretty nice. It's been really good for working on site. It's been like in the 50s and 60s, somewhere in there, like in the heat of the day in the afternoon. You know, it's like 28, 29, 30 degrees in the mornings when I get up. It's right at freezing every morning, and like I said, about 50 or 60 been on the afternoon, so it's been great for going out and doing on-site work. Absolutely loving it. And I'm going to figure out how to edit all this down into a lot shorter because I've been talking way too long. So anyway, I'm just going to take you around the shop this morning. Just ramble on in front of the camera. Probably nothing too exciting. I might break this out into separate videos. We'll just have to see how it all goes here. But just kind of show you what I've been up to and kind of some of the things that are coming. And yeah, so first off, we'll start right over here at the Rockford Lathe, and I'll show you what I did here. A couple of years ago, I got the cylinder. I was going to make a press out of it because I really need a live hydraulic press. I was actually going to get started on this press right away, but in order to attach this cylinder to the press, and the way I'm thinking about it is I was just going to take different rods out of a longer stroke cylinder I have that's no good and rethread the ends and then put a big plate up here. I don't know if you've ever seen that. I actually think that's how Keith Fenner did his cylinder. It's a pretty common thing to do. If I think about it, I'll run out and grab some photos of one that's here on a piece of equipment on the farm. But anyway, you leave those nuts on, slide the plate on, you know, the threads stick out longer, and then you put another nut on. Great way of mounting a cylinder down there. But anyway, the point of my rambling is I took the rods out of the other cylinder and they're stamped threads. So I'll show you what I mean. I got them laying over here on the little Atlas lathe. So I took these rods out of a 24-inch stroke cylinder. Oh, I guess that reminds me. The cylinder I have laying over there is a 4-inch bore and 16-inch stroke, which I think will be awesome for a press. But I took these out of another cylinder because I was going to cut them down and rethread the ends. But I got to looking at it and I realized that these are stamped threads. They're not turned. So the shaft itself is around 584, which is not quite 5/8. 585 there. And then these threads up here are stamped and swelled up to get it up to the come on, get on there. 625 that it needs to be for 5/8. So I can't rethread the ends because I don't have any way to stamp threads. I guess that's what you call it, is stamping. Pressing, I don't know. I assume stamp is the correct term. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know anything about really that kind of thread making. But anyway, so yeah, I can't cut these down. So, you know, I could get crazy and weld it up and all that, but I'm just going to order some new rod. But that press is like high on my priority list because now that I'm doing a lot more machine work, broaching keys inside a pulley or a sprocket is a real pain in the butt in the little bearing press that I have. And over here in the shadows is my bearing press, in case you remember what it looks like. Not that you can tell in this shot anyway. I even have the lights on. I guess the camera is reacting to that bright spot over there. There we go. Now you can almost see it. I love this press. It is a great press, but you know, it's designed for taking bearings off and pulleys off of shafts and stuff like that. It's not designed for bending metal and that kind of stuff. I do have my press I made up here. It has a bottle jack in it, but there again, it's not good for broaching either. So yeah, that press is high on my list of priorities for this winter. One of the things I didn't say quite right, basically I just didn't explain myself good enough, was when I was talking about broaching, is what I meant by that was when I started doing the welding thing, I was strictly on site. I just had my F250 pickup set up as a mobile unit, and that was what I did. It was on site. Every once in a while, I could bring it here to my house or something, and I'd work on it in my yard, but I didn't work here in the shop very often at all, because this is my grandpa's shop. I currently have a deal worked out with him to use it, because he just turned 100, and he's not out here quite as much as he used to be. He's still a go-getter. He's still on the tractor farming. I really want to get him in front of the camera someday and do an interview with him, but he's actually a very busy man. It surprises me. But anyway, so yeah, he's working less and less in the shop, and like I said, I worked out a deal with him now. I can work in here a lot more, and I'm doing a lot more machining now because I can. And so right now it is really important for me to get a good press with live hydraulics, because there are projects I've had where I've had to broach several keyways, during the course of a project, and that gets really, really tedious when I'm running a hand pump, So yeah, it's just kind of, as my business evolves, my needs change a little bit. That's also another reason why I haven't gotten a mill over the years, because it really has not been a huge need for me. But it has gotten to that point now where the need is definitely there. Like, I find myself saying probably almost daily that, man, this would be so much easier if I just had a mill. But like I said, I started out just doing strictly on-site welding, repair, that kind of thing, going out fixing the tractors and the combines and the plows and coming back home, building corral, whatever. But now it's turning more into shop jobs for me. I like it. It's definitely easier on my body, that's for sure. Since these are sitting here, I guess I'll talk about these little horseshoe pumpkins. I built several of these here recently. Been giving them away to my friends mostly as appreciations for all the stuff that they've done for me lately. But the biggest thing is I've been playing with electrolysis. And I don't know if you can tell how shiny that stuff is out there. They're rusting already amazingly fast just because, iron rust, and there's absolutely no protection on these things. But these are used horseshoes, and this is what they started out as. I have a cousin out in Colorado, around the Del Norte region, and they do, what do you call it? Tourists come up and ride their horses and mules and stuff, and they go up through the mountains. So he brings me horseshoes every once in a while, so I've been doing some projects with horseshoes lately. Been having fun with electrolysis. It's working great. I really love doing it. I wish I would have started that years and years ago. So yeah, I don't know, something else I've been playing with. Might see more of it. I don't feel like I need to do a video about electrolysis, because there are tons and tons and tons of videos on YouTube about it already, so no need for me to ramble on about how to do it. But the results are great with it. That's a little too bright. Yeah, maybe I'll wheel a table to the other side of the shop. It doesn't take that long. Not much to say about this table, honestly. The only reason I didn't get the other video uploaded is because I had messed up on some of my speaking, and I wasn't quite in frame on a shot, so I wanted to come up and redo that before I upload that video. I know there's other videos you guys have been asking about. I think next I'm going to do a video on the Atlas closing drill press, because somebody requested that a long time ago. I filmed it, I had a cold, and I could not stand my voice, so I went back through and did the editing, so I think I'll hit that real quick while I'm up here too. This Atlas closing drill press is really nice. Really not much to say on it, I guess. I've been wanting to do a video on it forever. I honestly can't remember how long. I'll go stand next to it so you can kind of get the idea of the overall size of it. I'm sure that was great modeling there. I'm 6 foot tall and in my work boots, so if that helps a little bit too. I'm trying to remember what year Grandpa got this drill press, but I just completely slipped my mind now. I think he got it when he built this shop, so I'm going to say in 1958 is probably when he got it. He might have even had it before that, possibly. But I just don't know. I guess I could zoom in and show you the serial number, and then maybe people out there that know how to read that can tell me. Well, it looks good through the viewfinder, so I hope you can read that. But it says model number 1810, and serial number is 105123. And that's not the same combination I have on my luggage. I think I've searched this number before on the internet and had no luck figuring out what it was. But if anybody knows how to read that and can tell me what year this is, I would actually love to know myself, because I have forgotten. It has the foot pedal, and after using this drill press with the foot pedal or the dead man switch, whichever you want to call it, I cannot stand using a drill press that does not have one now. It has probably saved a lot of drill bits and who knows what else, because it's so quick to be able to shut it down. All I have to do is lift up my foot. Whereas, when you have a switch, you got to find the switch. That drill press sitting over there, this one right here, I hate that one because there's 2 switches on it. One's for the light and one's for the motor. And every time I want to go shut that thing off, I turn on the light. Oh, it irritates me to no end. Grandpa put this 1.5 horse motor on here. I'm assuming the thing came without a motor is why it's set up like it is, and so he didn't want to put on the second step pulley. I missed that though. I wish it had the other step pulleys back here, or whatever it was supposed to have. I don't know how these are supposed to be set up, but as is, it's single speed, and it's a little bit annoying because on a small drill bit it's too slow, and on a big drill bit it's too fast. So if you're using anything from, I don't know, somewhere between 7/16, ½ inch on up to 11/16, maybe even 3/4, it's about right. But any other size, it's either too slow or too fast. So and Grandpa told me here a couple years ago that he has never changed these belts. These are the same dry belts that were on it when he put this thing together, which I think is absolutely amazing. What else is there to say about this thing? It has a Morris Taper 3 in the spindle. And I guess I should tell you what the swing is here. And yeah, it's 9 inches from this side of the post to the center of the drill bit. Little bit short in there. I wouldn't mind if that was a little bit bigger, but very seldom do I run into that being a problem. The table is coolant ready. There's a plug in right here, but I don't use it enough to justify coolant. I just use my cutting fluid. We got a whole bunch of metal stacked on the ground because the thing is not bolted to the floor. I would actually like to move it. It's quite a ways away from the wall, and we set it there because of the vent in the floor. It used to be up against the table for the Atlas lathe, which, can you even see that? I can't even see it through my viewfinder. The Atlas lathe is right there. That oil can is the table for the Atlas lathe. And it used to set right up against that, and then the bandsaw was over this floor register. But what would happen is, with the old Olson bandsaw we had, it didn't have a catch pan for the filings from the bandsaw. so we just fill up that floor register with filings. So we swapped the two around. I don't know, I was in high school when we did that, so that was back in the 90s. I don't know where Grandpa had it before that, because it was somewhere else. Yeah, it moves around the shop, and I would like to move it again because it's not a prime location right here. I kind of want to get it away from the welders. Kind of contemplating moving the Atlas lathe too. Why the heck not? Since I'm showing you all this stuff, well, let's talk about that too. Oh, and since I'm talking about moving stuff, this grinder and drill press stand here I would like to move. It is bolted to the floor. Well, I guess you can't really see it there. But also because it's away from the wall, I have a tendency to set metal behind it, and I don't like that. I'm one of those people that I live in fear of the flat spot. You know, I have a tendency to set things down and never get them cleaned off again if there's a flat spot to set them on. And it drives me nuts because I actually want a clean work environment. But yeah, so anyway, I'd like to move that thing, move the drill press, and move the bandsaw and the Atlas lathe. So I haven't quite figured out exactly what I'll do with it. But the biggest reason for this is I want to make myself a nice metal rack over here. One of the things that got me thinking about this is working here at the Atlas lathe, I'm looking into the south window. And yes, the window is to my left, but it still creates a lot of glare and I have a hard time seeing. The Rockford lathe is set up to where I'm looking into the north window. So the sun is at my back and it really illuminates my work and I can see really, really well at that lathe. I like it a lot better. So is what I'm contemplating doing, but I don't know if it'll ever happen, is move this little Atlas lathe over here to where the roundy-round table sits and get rid of this square table here. I think the Atlas lathe would go really good, probably facing this direction. I want the axis to be this way, so parallel to this wall over here. That way I could use this bench back here to put all the tooling on and stuff like that. So the motor would be here and the tailstock would be down over there. And then the east window here would be my back, which would illuminate the bed in the mornings. And I think that would work really, really nice. So I'd put the Atlas here, and then I'm thinking about putting the Rockford here. But I'm not 100% sure about that. I don't know if that'll ever happen or not. The biggest reason I'm not sure about it is a couple years ago, I put in a new door over here, a nice insulated door, which made a huge difference on keeping the shop warm, and went with electric opener. And I don't know if you can tell or not, but the opener sits here, so I've lost that much track for my overhead crane. So the overhead crane actually only comes to about here in the shop now. And so that means the Rockford lathe would actually have to sit clear out here. And I don't know about that. But I don't like this big square table in here. When I got that thing, I got it from a local welding shop that went out of business a few years ago. I saw it and I was like, yeah, that's a really neat idea. It's got the bars in it so you can torch and all the stuff will fall through, and you know, I thought, yeah, that'd be perfect in here. And I think I built one project on it and I haven't touched it since. The only reason I still have it is because I got the compact bender, my ring roller, and my press set up on it. Oh, and the chain cutter over there set up on it. But otherwise, it's turned out to be a complete waste of space. Just never use it. So anyway, that's my thinking. We'll see if any of this ever makes it into the video.